when I first met Jean-Luc Godard, I got a telegram because he saw me in a... I made 2 soap films. I know it's not good, but because you don't do that normally. I made Mon Savon, which means my soap, and Palmolive. And on one side of the Champs-Élysées, I was in Mon Savon saying, my soap is the best. On the other side of Champs-Élysées, in another cinema before the film, I would say, you have to buy Palmolive. And, but you know, I didn't know I was underage. You know, I was not even 18 years old, so I didn't understand that you couldn't do 2 soap films. Why not? I mean, after all, it's only soap, right? And you know, of course I couldn't do anything because I didn't sign anything. I was underage, with no contracts and nothing like that. I thought they said to me, they thought I was older than that. They must have, because, but I was underage. But I didn't even know that I couldn't sign. I would have signed it anyway, even though I was underage. You know? So I did it, and he saw me. I don't know if he saw me in Mon Savon or if he saw me in Palmolive, but nevertheless, I got a telegram, would you please come to the office of Georges de Beauregard to see Jean-Luc Godard. I said, what is this? It's for a little part in a film. So I said, well, why not? So I go there, and he looks at me like this, you know, and he says, well, you got the part, you have to take your clothes off. So I said, I'm not taking my clothes off. I don't want to. And he said, well, I saw you in the soap films. I said, that's in your imagination. I was not nude. I had barbels up to here. You saw maybe a little piece of shoulder, you know, and bathing suits and all that. You didn't see me nude. It's impossible. That's in your imagination. So I left. And of course I didn't do the film. It was a little part in Breathless, the very first film of Jean-Luc Godard. I mean, long, yeah. And so I still go on again doing, you know, the pictures and all that. Kind of boring. But after all, it made me live, you know, so I have a living with that. Mm-hmm. You know what? I would even do kind of figure of washing machines and all that. You know, sitting on the washing machine saying it was great. You know? Yes, everything like that I would do it, just for the money for work. But I said to myself, you know, if I get about so much money, I can really spare it, because I didn't even buy myself a dress. You know? The photographers would say, Anna, can't you buy yourself a pair of shoes once in a while? Because your white shoes are becoming dirty. They didn't give the shoes at that time. I'm talking about before the 60s, you see. You were not born, so you don't know. But when you're doing it afterwards, of course, now they give you everything, you know. But then, no, you had to wear your own shoes, you know. So, and so, because I wanted to spare money to learn French and go to school, you know. And, well, I have to tell you how, I got involved with the second film, right? So, 3 months later, I got another telegram saying, this time it might be for the lead. Would you please come to Georges de Beauregard's office
and this is for
to see Jean-Luc Godard?
For Le Petit Soldat, for the second film?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I said, well, to my friends, that can't be true, you know, it must be somebody who just want to go out with me, you know, have fun or something like that. They say, no, Jean-Luc Godard is he will become very famous, you will see, because he just did the Breathless with Jean Seberg and Belmondo, Jean-Paul Belmondo. I said, oh, Breathless, yeah. Is that the film? Maybe I've refused to do this little part where I have to take my clothes off. And they say, well, you've got to go and see him anyway. I said, but he's maybe mad of me. No, he ain't, because if not, he wouldn't, you know, would have not asked you to come again. So I go there. And of course, this Jean-Luc Godard with the dark glasses, you know, he looks at me, and I'm a little bit scared, because I remembered I just slammed the door when I first time saw him. And he said, well, okay. He said, yes. Come tomorrow and sign your contract. I said, what? And I'm not going to make some kind of test or something. He said, no, you can come tomorrow and sign your contract. So I said, yeah, but I can't come tomorrow because I'm underage. I'm not allowed to sign a contract, you know. I'm not 21. I'm hardly 18 and a half, you know. And he said, oh, that's not a problem. You come with your mother. I said, or your father? I said, well, I don't have any father, but my mother, she's in Copenhagen. He said, oh, wow, you're such a troublemaker, he said. I said, yes, but you know, I don't know what, he said, you phone your mother here from the office, call your mother. It's not that, then we didn't have the smartphones and all that, it was very complicated. We get to a lady saying, yes, what number? Copenhagen, yeah, wait a minute, I have to think about it, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm free, you know, an hour later you might get the call if somebody will answer, you know. It was very complicated. It's another world today, you know. And so I got my mother on the phone. I say, Mommy, I'm doing this film with this director called Jean-Luc Godard, and it's for a political film. She said, what? You making a political film? Yeah, in the lead. She said, oh, okay, forget it, and she hung up, you know. So I phoned her again. I got her on this phone. I said, I'm really making this political film, Mama. It's really true. You got to come to Paris and take the plane. She said, what? The plane? I never took a plane in my life. You know, we are now in 59 or something, you know. Nobody took planes at that time. Not a lot, at least, you know. Only a fare or something like that. Mm-hmm. So she comes to Paris. Yeah, I forgot to say, in between, I also asked Jean-Luc, do I have to take my clothes off? He said, no. I said, oh, Jesus, good. So we went to Switzerland, we did the film. It took 3 months, around 3. That's the longest film he ever did, I get. Very long film. Because he stopped the film in between. It's a political film, you know, about the war in Algeria, and nobody really understood because there was no script. There never was anyway, no script, but you know, a political film with no script is kind of more complicated, like something else. For the actor, an actor like me who didn't really speak that good French, you know. But so after a little, we were looking at each other all the time, like getting fascinated to each other. Like this was very something you can't really explain, you know. Really, like you don't really understand. Most love stories are like that. It's something you don't understand. You understand it afterwards.
They're mysteries. Yeah.
So we fell in love, and we did the film, and the film was banned. So it was like I had done nothing, but another director saw me in the film and asked me to do his comedy called Tonight or Never, and which I did. And Jean-Luc would say to me when I got the script, because he would sign my contract now, right? Because he was taking care of me, and 10 years older than me. So he would say, how are you gonna do this? You will never be able to play like this comedy. It's so bad. It's so, what is Travis saying, you know? I said, yes, I will. I like the dialects. I said, I really like it. And I think it's funny. And he said, no, you can't do it, you can't do it. And he would take me to the studio every day, because it takes place in an apartment, this film. It's called Tonight or Never, and it's only between actors in one big apartment. And every time I would say, oh, how could you say those lines and all that? It's so... But I really liked the film, so I was happy. And then when he saw the film finished, called Tonight or Never, he said, wow, you're really so good in that film. He said, really? And he said, would you like to do A Woman is a Woman? That's a film you just saw. And he has seen all the actresses in Paris before me, really. And then he asked me to do it, and I was so happy. Doing a film with Jean-Paul Belmondo and Jean-Claude Brialy, you know, it was too much. The first day my knees were going like this because I got so nervous, you know. But they were so nice. After half an hour, you know,